Nothing in this podcast or on our website should be construed as medical advice. Consult your healthcare provider for your individual nutritional and medical needs. The information presented is based on our research and is strictly that of the author and not necessarily those of any professional group or other individual.
Hi, I'm Sue Becker from Bread Beckers. Welcome to Sue's Healthy Minutes. I'm so excited you've joined me today, and I hope this episode encourages you and allows you to find the answers you have been praying for the health of you and your family. Today, as promised, in the Facts About Fats Part 2, we're going to go into much detail about the amazing role of these essential fatty acids within our bodies. When we talk of essential fatty acids, we mean only some of the acids contained in fats. There are a number of fatty acids found in foods containing oil, but there are only 3 that are considered essential, meaning that the body cannot make these, so they must be supplied by the food we eat. Of the 3 fatty acids considered to be essential, linoleic acid is by far the most important. Other fatty acids such as arachidonic acid or linolenic acid are all able to perform isolated functions in the body, but mostly in supporting growth and not overall health. Linoleic acid can be converted to these other fatty acids. Therefore, linoleic acid alone is able to do the job of every other fatty acid if enough linoleic acid is available. Now, just what do we mean by essential? The term essential is used when referring to a substance that is, number 1, absolutely necessary within the human body for the process of life to continue, and number 2, which cannot be manufactured by the body and therefore must be obtained from the foods we eat. Since these fatty acids meet both criteria, the term essential is certainly appropriate. The fact that unsaturated fatty acids easily bond with other substances is critical to the very function of the fatty acids in our bodies. The truth of the matter is, we could not exist without the essential fatty acids. When we consume foods containing these fatty acids through a series of complicated chemical reactions within the body, these fats combine with proteins and cholesterol, yes, cholesterol, to form structures so basic there is no life without them. Combining with proteins, these fatty acids make up the membrane that encloses every cell in our body. This combining cannot take place if the fatty acids have been unnaturally saturated, as in hydrogenation, or treated with a chemical preservative. This will then result in the inability to properly form the cell membrane, weakening the overall integrity of the cell. The cell will be weak or faulty in structure, and the contents of the cell can leak out, causing the cell to die. If enough of the cells die at a faster rate than they can be reproduced, then the organ or structure these cells compose becomes weakened or even ceases to function, perhaps even leading to the death of the entire body. For example, if the weakened cells make up the wall of your arteries, then the walls of your arteries themselves become weakened, which may result in clots, an aneurysm, or internal hemorrhages. Or perhaps, if it is the membrane of the red blood cells that is faulty, causing the red blood cells to deteriorate at a faster rate than they can be reproduced, causing a very serious form of anemia that no amount of iron supplementation can correct. Through a different chemical transformation, the fatty acids combine with a protein to form a substance called myelin. Myelin sheathes the nerves in the body, including the spinal cord. Any damage to the myelin sheath can impair mental ability and give rise to various neurological disorders. This certainly poses the question, is it possible that neurological problems are a deficiency of fatty acids or even the inability for them to function properly? For healthy nerves, we must have these nutrients. I think one of the most fascinating aspects of the role of fatty acids in our body is that it does much of its work by combining within our body with free cholesterol, which our liver manufactures. As long as we have enough available linoleic acid in our diets, the cholesterol in our system is put to work and actually does nothing but good. Through this combining process, cholesterol becomes the primary building block for many of our important sex hormones, anti-inflammatory steroids, a structural component of our cell membranes, as well as the precursor or building block of vitamin D. Vitamin D is essential in making calcium available to all of our body tissues. If the fatty acids are unavailable to combine with cholesterol, our bodies are unable to synthesize this very important vitamin. As one can see, cholesterol plays a vital role in controlling the function, the health, and the life of our bodies. But it's only when our bodies fail to utilize the cholesterol that it forms plaque and builds up in our blood vessels. A primary role of one form of an essential fatty acid, lecithin, is to break down both fats and cholesterol to make them more readily available for their use by the body. Fatty acids, and particularly lecithin, are critical nutrients for the prevention and even reversal of arterial blockages or hardening of the arteries. To try to eliminate fat and cholesterol from our diet is foolishness, for in so doing, we would eliminate the very foods containing the essential fatty acids to utilize the cholesterol. The truth of the matter is, we couldn't eliminate cholesterol from our systems if we never ate another drop, for the liver would continue to manufacture this absolutely vital nutrient. It is important to emphasize here that the fats and cholesterol we do consume need to be from whole, unrefined foods that God created for our good. In still another biochemical process, the fatty acids combine to form the very influential substances known as prostaglandins. Prostaglandins function within the body in a manner similar to hormones, except they are utilized by the very cell in which they are made. These compounds are found in all tissue and become the building blocks of substances that regulate such cellular activity as nerve transmissions, blood supply and blood pressure, water retention, our natural inflammatory response, and so much more. One most significant function of prostaglandin is to regulate the coagulation of blood, so clotting takes place properly, neither too fast nor too slow. By preventing fast clotting, these compounds guard against diseases such as coronary thrombosis, strokes, and any other complication related to abnormal clot formation. Essential fatty acids have been shown to be effective against ulcers, asthma, dental cavities, acne, and other skin disorders. These diseases and many other infirmities could perhaps be eliminated if the diet adequately supplied the nutrients for the cells to function properly. I could go on. I am convinced that volumes could be written and a lifetime of study could be devoted to the critical role and importance of these very essential fatty acids. Yet, even if we consumed a good supply of these essential fatty acids every single day, as we should, we will not benefit from their remarkable function unless they arrive to our bloodstream and cells in a usable form. This simple fact remains: these fatty acids readily link up with oxygen in our digestive system and our blood. This oxidation process produces highly toxic compounds known as peroxides that our tissues cannot use. These peroxides cause toxic reactions which interfere with cellular function, destroys enzyme activity systems, and breaks down red blood cells. There is evidence that peroxide may lead to the formation of tumor cells. The fatty acids, once oxidized, actually become dangerous oxidizing agents themselves, breaking down and affecting every bodily function if left unchecked. But God, in His wisdom, did not leave us helpless. He created a protective agent for our cellular structure, the incredible antioxidant vitamin E. Despite a wide variety of symptoms produced by vitamin E deficiencies, this vitamin appears to perform only one function within the body. Vitamin E serves to protect these fatty acids as they travel through the stomach and intestines to keep them from binding with oxygen, hence the name antioxidant. Therefore, vitamin E not only delivers fatty acids to the cells in an unoxidized state, but also delivers oxygen in a pure, available form. An added benefit here is that vitamin E reduces the amount of oxygen necessary for life. Once the fatty acids reach the cells or bloodstream, the vitamin E breaks away. An artificial chemical antioxidant cannot do this, but vitamin E can. It breaks away, and the fatty acids are then free to bind with the proteins, cholesterol, or whatever necessary substance to perform its biological role. Vitamin E is used up in this process and therefore must be abundantly supplied daily. God has given us, through His perfect provision, foods that contain not only these essential fatty acids in very usable form, lecithin, a natural emulsifier to break them down into usable forms, but also their protector, vitamin E, a natural and most potent antioxidant. These fatty acids, as well as vitamin E, so essential to health and life, occur in whole, unrefined foods containing oil, such as whole grains, nuts, and seeds. The oils found in the germ of such grains as barley, oats, rye, and yes, particularly wheat, are all high in the essential fatty acids, particularly linoleic acid. Many nuts and beans supply these nutrients as well. Eggs, sunflower seeds, and soybeans are also good sources. Other foods may provide the fatty acids, but there might not be a significant source of vitamin E without whole grains. In fact, according to Dr. Wilfred Shute, a world-renowned cardiologist of his day, declares that coronary thrombosis and other related heart problems did not appear on the scene in America until after 1910, when the refining of whole grain flour became commonplace and the only significant food source of vitamin E, and in his words, the most potent antithrombin, was lost. As Jesus declared, "Give us this day our daily bread," one surely can see that real bread and real unrefined grains truly are the staff of life in more ways than one. Thank you for listening today. In next week's podcast, I will share with you some of my favorite fats and oils that I have chosen to use in my cooking and in baking. Until next time, this is Sue Becker with Bread Beckers with Sue's Healthy Minutes.
Sue's Healthy Minutes podcast has been a presentation by the Bread Beckers Incorporated, located in Woodstock, Georgia. For more information, store hours, and learning opportunities, visit breadbeckers.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Make sure to subscribe to this podcast and never miss an episode. Share this with 2 friends who would benefit from this information, and be sure to join us again next week for more of Sue's Healthy Minutes.